Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with Scrap Squad Sunday, and today I'm going to be scrap lifting the day 5 page for their 12 days of autumn scrap lifts. And it's a wood grain background, 3 kind of fall pattern paper circles, some fall photos, leaves, fairly simple page, not a lot of embellishing other than those leaves. There are some, there's some people and pets in the photos, which I'm not going to have, so I'm going to add some pets on the outside and into my embellishing. But I'll show you what I've gathered for this. I have this kind of greenish wood grain paper. I'm going to have the planks running this way. I tried it the other way, but I think it looks more like the side of a barn or something like that. And then I have a more honey-colored, kind of leathery-looking paper that I cut the circles out of. There's a little bit of distressing in here. This is from that Fancy Pants Summer's End collection that kind of anchored my Scrap Backwards kit last month. And my photos were taken just kind of off the back deck yesterday, and this is our 1 day of fall color. the leaves kind of begin to color up a little bit, but they're mostly green, and then all of a sudden they change color, and then the next day they're gone. They're all dropped. So I filtered these to be able to pick up on a lot of the reds and yellows and greens that were back there, and the colors actually look a lot more interesting. Just as an example, in this photo, in the original, and I wish I had printed the original so I could show you, but in this one, there was a clump of dead leaves, just a branch with some dead leaves, and it was an ugly brown compared to the nice yellows up in here. Well, the filter picked up on the reds, and it actually looks pretty here instead of like dead leaves. But now that I've told you, you're not going to see anything but dead leaves on there. So these are my photos. I have fussy cut some leaves from the let's see if I can tell you which one it is. Paper Snips number 13 is all leaves. And so I fussy cut all the ones I had left on that sheet. And then I have cut some critters and other things from either number 12 or number 11. And I've cut, I think, from both 12 and 11. This is kind of all I have left of those. And I have some little BrambleFox. Those are from BrambleFox, by the way, the paper snips. These are just little kind of perspectives that are X's, and I have die cut some leaves. I have some little tiny tags that will pick up on some of the whites that are in there. I have some wood veneer leaves, small and large. I have a cute little owl. I've got an owl perspective here in kind of a purplish brown, and it's kind of this page will be a little bit of like a love letter to John, because he was always the one photographing the woods in the backyard, and he would have loved how colorful and pretty things looked yesterday. It's been kind of sunny and warm lately, so the color hung on for a little bit longer. Anyway, and I've also got some Autumn Red Nouveau drops, and some fired brick distress oxide and a stencil that I may enhance and shadow under some of the leaves. So we'll see how all of that turns out. So I think I'm going to arrange these. I know that I wanted this one in the middle and this one. I think I'm just going to arrange them in the order that I took the photos. And I'm going to do this circle kind of right there, I think. And then these two photos will go like so. And I'll have one circle there, kind of maybe up a bit, and one down like that, so that I have both corners covered. I'm actually going to move this over to that side because I think that balances it a little bit better. My circle sizes and photo sizes are different. The proportions are different from the original, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to put this here. Let me get my horrible tape. I should have done this before filming because it just takes so much longer than using a tape runner. But, and then it gets stuck. But it still will adhere the foam on here. Might give it a little extra depth, right? And before I do any like gluing down onto the page, I want to be sure that I've got, that I don't have any background work to do. I haven't thought through exactly how I'm going to use the stencil, and that's a BrambleFox stencil. It is a special stencil that was in their advent calendar box last year, I think. And I bought a larger, similar one that has slightly different leaf shapes, but I love it. Okay, and these, I'm gonna glue them down in see, I don't have the fingernails or the patience to deal with this. So it's always having to use this. And I may hold off on gluing the photo down because I may want to do the leaves and the stenciling and then some splattering. But I'm going to put I'll glue the circles down. Speaking of not having fingernails. Okay. My idea is that all of the leaves, including the wood grain, I'll put on, and then I will splatter everything with white. Not sure why. It's not as if I'm trying to add a look of snow or anything. Okay, so I'm just going to leave those there while I place the other stuff. And I'm just going to kind of pull these leaves out. I'll leave the critters for after, but I'll do all these leaves. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of, you know what? I'm gonna put the photos down and I'll just cover them up when I splatter, because I kind of need them to be in place when I'm doing the leaves. I'm going to bring this down. And because it's liquid glue, it's going to slide around a bit. Okay, so now I can see the area that I have to kind of group the leaves. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to bend these up a little and kind of give them some depth without doing foam behind them. I'll do this brown one. And an orange. I forget how many of these leaves were left. I'll put a green in there. Kind of arching this way. Another yellow one. There. By doing them this way and not gluing them flat down, it's, to me, a little bit more realistic look of leaves as they may have fallen. And it's, of course, suggestive of that rather than literally that. And I'm going to sort of curve these around. And I'll use all of these BrambleFox leaves kind of together in this spray, and then I'll add in the other types of leaves around. Okay, so I like the look of that. And I may now, well, the next larger leaves that I have are these wood grain. So maybe I'll do that's not going on there very well. I'm going to quickly put one of these leaves right there. And let's see where I can put this one. Maybe right there. Okay, that works. And then the next largest is this one. And I may slide it in here, but tuck it under the photo instead of arching it over. And then I've got this one, which I may do, well, let's see, it might look nice right there. I like the kind of leather looking background there. And here, this would be just out in the smaller leaves. I like to have them look like they've fallen or are falling. And so I'm gonna do one down here. And now I'm just gonna put a few other falling leaves. And I'm probably gonna have more leaves than the original, but I don't want to clutter it with too much stuff. So I've got a leaf or a wood veneer piece here that looks a little like a feather, but I think I'm going to use it as a leaf. Just right in here, and I'll maybe kind of partially cover it with that so that it, and I kind of did that in the wrong order. Let me put a little more glue on here. I tell you what, I can put it in between the photo and the mat, and it's not staying up, so that's not a good idea. I'll just do it that way and hope that that glue sticks when it dries. Okay, I have another fairly large one of these that I'm going to put right in here. Okay, and another one of these that I may add right down here. I'm going to push these little small ones off to the side. Now, I want to do a I have 3 flares, but I think I'm just going to use one. And it's kind of a gray wood grain that I'm going to put right there. And let these leaves kind of cascade over. And I've got this little guy that I thought could be sleeping. And you know what I didn't do is any stenciling, but I can add it here's a little one, a little leaf right here, and I can just okay, that, I don't hate that. I will do this one. This is a little bit larger than I'd like. There we go. And then I can do this one kind of right there. And it's a leaf that's falling upwards, but you know, we won't get too picky about that. Now I'm gonna try to do something like that's right on the circle. And I'm going to go ahead and overlap the ink onto the photo. I don't hate that. So let me try another leaf. That one's moving around. Maybe I can do this one like I had thought, where it's kind of a shadow underneath. And then I'll place this, I'll just glue it on top on the photo. There. I like that. And I want to put some stenciling over onto this as well. And I'm going to take this leaf. There we go. And I've got that over the... Okay, so now that I've done that, let's put that away and the stencil over there. And I'm going to go back to putting the little critters on. Well, maybe I should wait for the critters until I get my splatters. I'll do that. I'm not... If I use these X's, which I'm not absolutely sure about, I don't think I will use those. I think I have enough. And here's my title. It's a tiny little title, and I'm going to put it right there. But I'll wait until, I won't adhere it until after the splattering. And I'm thinking about the splattering. Do I want it to be white or maybe a buttery yellowish color. But I had some more leaves I wanted to put on. I have this little guy that I thought I might add right there. I like the idea of kind of a leaf over the shadows. And I've got this, which I can put over one of these. Let me bend it up so I get some texture, some depth there. Okay. And then here's another one that I'm going to put over here on this photo. Kind of right there. And I think I have one more that I'd like to use. There are some little just plain leaf-shaped ones that don't look like as much like fall leaves to me. So there. Okay. And I can curl those up. All right, I'm going to go with white just because I saw it and I apologize I didn't check or test my ink. Let me put something over the photos. I'm going to maybe do this, and I'll let some white get on there. And I'll do that, and maybe let some white get there. Now what I'm expecting this to do is to quote unquote tie it all together, and I know that's a somewhat overused term, I suppose, but in this case, since I don't have I didn't use printed, let me get this shaken up a little bit more. I might add some gesso to this to make it a little more opaque, but this will be fine. Since my circles are not a pattern paper, and I have different types of leaves, some out of pattern paper and some cut out of sort of semi-gloss paper. I thought the white splatters would, if everything is splattered, even the stenciled leaves, then it is all, you know, it kind of gives it a common denominator. Let me make sure I get some splatters on the photos where I want them. Okay. Now, let's pull this off. Okay, I'm okay with that, and once that paint dries on the foam, it'll be fine to use. The foam never shows anyway. And of course I've got white paint all over my hands. I'm happy with that. Oh, I wanted to tell you what I kept the strip. This background paper is from My Mind's Eye. a collection called The Bright Side, and it's from 2012. And to me, it's called Gray Wood, and to me, gray wood and the other side of it is a gray polka dot. Those don't belong in a collection called The Bright Side, but go figure. I liked it anyway. Okay, so now I'm going to put my title on right here. And that will hold that down. And I've got my sleeping fox. I don't think we have any foxes back in the woods. We have people who have spotted coyotes, and so that, you know, he's a nod to that. I've never seen one. I see deer back there, and of course we have all the there are owls, and we have lots of other birds, but also tons of squirrels and chipmunks. And since we've put a screen on our deck, we don't get as many squirrels up, you know, visiting as we used to. So I'm gonna do let's see, do I want the paper overlapping that? I'm gonna do that right there, and then I'll tuck this in where it's a little bit, let me put that back where it belongs. I love this purple owl. I have been hoarding him since last, oh no, maybe he's new this year. I had some owls I was hoarding from last year. Lots of all the fall things. Last year's fall, I didn't do a lot of fall scrapping. I had trouble leading up to the holidays. This guy's cute. I'm gonna put him right in here between these two leaves, if I can get him fitted in. There we go. And I had thought I might need these white tags to kind of highlight the clusters, but I think I like that the clusters are a little bit not highlighted, they're a little bit subtle. So my final embellishment here is going to be these Nouveau drops. And I'm kind of going to do them different sizes. I messed up. Don't tell Amy. These are a different, they seem to be a different level of liquidity, shall we say, from my others. Maybe they're just not as dried out. I thought that among the white splatters, having some dark reds might be pretty. And that's not going to bother me. It's probably bothering some of you, and I apologize for that. Just gonna put one. In some places I'll put 3, in some places just 1. Okay, I'm happy with it. I think I'm ready to stop while I'm somewhat still ahead. So now, what do you think? Do you think I should add these? I don't. If I hadn't done the leaves, they could kind of represent falling leaves, I suppose. But I'm not seeing that the page would be enhanced with those, so I think I'm going to leave them off. So thank you for watching, and happy Sunday. Bye.